Okay, so the right-hand one was your before. Again, setup-wise, in both these cases, very, very good. Obviously, we talked about standing to the golf ball first with the club head behind the golf ball. Get that correct. Then get your hands on the club in the correct grip. Getting that sort of lean forward, you can see there with the hands on the shaft there, okay? Mm-hmm. And the last thing you do, set your feet. Okay, so you go through that sequence every single shot, time and time again, whether the golf ball's got to go that far to a hole there or 200 yards on the fairway, always the same kind of sequence of setup, club, gripping the club, posture and getting in the right position with the body, and then the set the feet, okay? Swing-wise before, you look at this one on the right-hand side, okay? There's one off there, okay? Your backswing went to about there. So it was a reasonable position for the length of shot it would have gone, but it's not going to give you much power.
Yeah,
okay?
Because I want my elbow bent, it wouldn't
exactly, it's very, very stiff. And if you try to go higher, if this arm is straight, the way you would try and get the club higher now is your shoulders and arms sort of shrugging and lifting up. And then when you shrug up here, when you come back to the golf ball, you just miss it, okay, as you did with the other shot that we saw on the camera there last time, okay? So the way we try and get the club to go back further, as we go back, let your right elbow soften, and there's a longer back. So now you can see your left wrist there starting to go a little bit around there. That's going to be a characteristic or a habit for you. If it's as much as you've done there, that's fine. If it starts really almost going 90 degrees, then we've got a bit of a problem. We're too much sort of wrist hinge there, or wrist bowing we call it, okay? But you can see now from those two positions, a lot more power on that left-hand side, hence the reason why it went 105 yards rather than 50 yards. Yeah. I mean, it's roughly a double swing length in terms of how far it goes, okay? As the club then starts coming back now to the golf ball, okay? Good impact position there on the right-hand side with a good strike. Good impact position on the left-hand side with more power. The swing, however, is very similar on the way through. So we could work on a bit of a longer swing probably next session. Try and get that club over your left shoulder there. A lot of people, and it may be right or wrong in your case, almost have that fear of the club hit them in the head when it comes. They always just think, I've got to stop there because if bloody I was out of control, whipping over my shoulder. So just, if I just swing to there, that'll be enough. The ball's been hit, the ball's gone. Who cares what happens afterwards? It's fine and safe there. But we want to try and let that momentum carry through. If it's a shorter shot, which is something on the golf course we'll have to learn, we would swing the golf club there to there, as you did with this one. It goes 50 yards. If you want more than 50 yards, 100 plus, your backswing length needs to be that far back. But on the same token, it needs to be that far through on the other side, okay? So we can work on that. That's going to, again, practice, confidence, I suppose, in some ways, of how far that club can swing. But once we kind of realise that we can hit the ball more often than not every single time, get the ball up in the air, go in somewhere, then work on direction, swinging the club that back on the way back, that far back on the way back is not going to be like, oh, God, I've lost control here now. We'll have a bit more kind of freedom and confidence to swing that club in that length, okay? So just to go back through again, set-up-wise was good. Club first, then your hands, getting that sort of lead arm there with the club and the hands there, okay? Last thing you do is set your feet. Your feet just go down as comfortable, okay? Mm-hmm. Don't try and put them down first or move them around, shuffle here, shuffle there. Get them set correctly. And then from there, once you're in that position, the only swing thought now, the right-hand one now, is just to set the right arm soften and swing back a bit further. Make it a longer swing to create more power. Club goes back further, your shoulders turning, your hips twisting with it, knees moving in there nicely. It's a more powerful swing. Creates more energy. Ball goes further. Make sense?
Yeah.
Happy days. Good stuff, mate. Well done.